Last year, I had no New Year's resolutions, and this year it was the same decision. Not because I didn't have any goals or things that I wanted to accomplish, but because I barely stuck to the ones that I previously made, which made me realize that there is a problem. I feel like a spider caught between a web of responsibilities: school, work, social life, hobbies, adventures, seeing the world. The list is so long and it does not get any shorter. And if you're watching this, chances are that you might be able to relate. So here's how we're gonna figure it out. And let me just start off by saying this. I am you. Yes, you watching this right now. I'm a student juggling 10 balls in the air, living in an era that romanticizes everything. And to be honest, sometimes that makes me feel like the problem is within myself, rather than the unrealistic standards that are set by societal norms. Like, how comes they're making it all look that easy? It just creates such a mental overload that the idea of even building a stable routine almost becomes impossible. Okay, so over to the main point on how to build a routine with long-term effects and actually help you feel accomplished during your day. According to Sigmund Freud, our behaviors are driven by 3 parts of our mind that are in constant conflict. And these parts are the ID, the ego, and the superego. These parts of the mind have a part in our decision-making on a day-to-day basis. And it can also explain why creating a routine and actually sticking to it can feel so extremely daunting, because there are different parts of our mind that are in constant conflict with each other, according to Freud. So the ID, that is the most impulsive part of the mind, would in a situation where you have to, for example, make your bed, say no. Stay in bed 5 more minutes. Let's just scroll on Instagram, and they end up on Facebook, and they end up on TikTok and Snapchat and WhatsApp and even LinkedIn. To contrast this, we have the superego. And according to Freud, it is the part of you that is shaped by the outward expectations and just things that you have been groomed to know from a very young age, from your parents, friends, and so on and so forth. It might say,
we have to wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. You should be productive. You shouldn't be lazy.
Just like the harsh critic inside of you, that is the superego. In my own terms, as a Gen Z-er, I would say it's the part of you that wants you to become your higher self. And then there's the ego trying to survive between the both, the ID and the superego. So when you create these extreme routines, like telling yourself that you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning, you're letting your superego dominate. And naturally, your ID will fight back, leading to you feeling extremely motivated the night before you're about to wake up at 5 a.m. and just not doing it, and instead maybe oversleeping because your ID is like, no, girl, you thought it ain't gonna happen. So what I'm trying to say here is that having or building a routine is not about being super strict to yourself. It's about negotiating and being flexible with yourself, just as you would be if you were a coach to, let's say, someone you're teaching something. You would cut them some slack, so cut yourself some slack as well. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to interact by giving this video a huge thumbs up or commenting down below which of these theories you've heard about before, agree or disagree with, so we can build a conversation. And don't forget to subscribe. Reality is that despite me explaining all these things with theory and science backed up behind it, we are human. No matter how much we plan and try to have things turn out perfectly, reality won't always match up with that vision. I know some days doing the most mundane and basic things, such as making my bed in the morning or doing laundry or like literally going on a walk, it like irks my soul, because I'm like, why am I doing these small things when I could be doing bigger things? Why am I catching small fish when I could be catching gigantic fish? That's where I have to remind myself, like, these small things that I'm doing is because of the big goals that I have. How many drops of water does it take to create an ocean? How many sit-ups does it take to be a healthy person? How many grains of rice does it take to feed a family? The answer is not 1 drop of water, it's not 1 sit-up or 1 grain of rice. It's many. With anything you do, you have to repeat it until it becomes a routine and eventually a habit. Ivan Pavlov showed us that our brain loves to create associations between things. This is called classical conditioning. So if you study in bed, your brain will automatically associate bed with stress. And if you scroll on your phone in bed, your brain will associate bed with stimulation. And suddenly you can't sleep or focus when you wake up. It all makes sense now. This is all to say that our environment shapes and trains our brains every single day. So in order to actually create routines that last, you have to be able to differentiate the associations. And stick to consistent cues. Moving on, the most important aspect when it comes to creating a long-term healthy routine is exactly that, having the health aspect of it all. One thing that I always tell my friends, family, and just anyone I meet is allow yourself to feel and then release the emotion that is held within you. Our hearts are not cages. We're not built to bottle up feelings and emotions, because eventually you're gonna crash out. And on days where you really just feel like not doing anything, give at least 1% of what you got in you and let that be the effort that you have to give for the day.
If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot and it boosts my content to more people like you who enjoy it.
You remind yourself that no matter how you feel, even if it's just one sit-up and your goal is to have 10 sit-ups a day, that one sit-up will remind you that the next day you can try to do 2. B.F. Skinner was an American psychologist, inventor, and behaviorist, often called the father of operant conditioning. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning explains that behaviors are shaped by consequences. In simple terms, if something feels good, you're most likely to repeat it. And if it doesn't, I hope you avoid it like the rest of us would do. I'm just kidding. If your routine starts feeling like punishment and it feels like you're torturing yourself and forcing yourself to do things that you don't, experience joy from, you're most likely to try and avoid it when it comes to building your routine. All right, you guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and the concept of it. If you did, make sure to comment it down below. Interact by giving this video a huge thumbs up or sharing it with more people, and make sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.